Right, is it video 32 part 2, I believe. Walking along the canal, back to Shirland Lane and Chippingham Street. Right, so picture 1 of 3 loading up now. This is just showing you that footbridge I was telling you about, which if you walked across there to your left, takes you to the tram stop at the kind of at the top of Chippingham Street, just above Shirland Lane. When it started, when I was explaining, on your left was Henry's shop in the first video, I believe, is there. And then on the right hand side, obviously, it's got you know, the various works and whatever's there now, really. I know as a kid, one used to be a lorry. There was like electricity plant, because there was all the pylons there, and there was a few of the, you know, the ground bits, you know, with all the ceramic things on. And it says technically trying to explain it. You know, they used to think it was something out of Doctor Who, as you did as a kid, as I did. And there was a lorry park as well, because I remember one night. We were laid in bed trying to get to sleep, and it was one summer, so we were in bed and it was still light. You know, it must have been, I don't know, about 8, 9 o'clock or something, or if it would have been naughty, it would have been bloody earlier. And this alarm was going off on this lorry, constant, you know, beep, 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 beep. And for some reason it was frightening me, and I don't know why. I don't know whether it's just because it was really loud and it was constantly going off, but it was annoying and it was really loud and it had been going off for ages. So my dad and somebody else decided to go up and try and dismantle it, or try and get it to turn off, and succeeded in the end as well, as he's told me. Various things he had to do to get it to disconnect it, but I won't reveal it on here because he didn't do nothing honest. But yeah, they were the only 2 places I remember to the right where the buildings are. So I'm going to load up now. Like I said, as you can see in front, there's a little pathway that you walk along. One thing I do remember is everything on the right hand side and the left hand side is all kind of bushy and overgrown. It wasn't when I was a kid. There was grass on the right hand side and a few bushes, but on the left it must have been a bit of grass where it is, but it was basically flat, because we used to go right up to the edge and peer in. I mean, you couldn't see bugger all anyway, because it was all yellow and green. I think further down towards Tinsley and parts it was actually clear, and then up in the Canal Basin in Sheffield, the town centre as well, it was clear. Even though now, I mean, you can fish in it. I mean, if you looked on the last one on that Pinfold Bridge, there's a sign that says, is it say fishing or no fishing? It says private fishing, sorry. So it just shows you how, for one thing's turned around from literally kicking all the steel and all these sludge and everything, you know, into the canal, to you know, it being a full, I suppose, kind of nature resort in places, and having fish in it. Fantastic, because you would never have thought it. You'd have just thought it'd have got worse, and it's really good that they treasure the canal, and you can get a ride from in a boat, you know, from one end to the other. And I think it's a brief bit of history, or just history about the canal. And so one thing I want to do when I come back as well is take a canal boat ride from one end to the other. I'm going to do that. Anybody else interested, let me know. I'll put something on the forums. Brilliant. Anyway, next picture loading up now is this one. This is on the last one in ahead, right at the front, is it's like, well, you can see it's a concrete bridge, and it's kind of in 3 sections. You've got the 2 sections on either side. So I know the picture's a little bit dark, and underneath where the banks are, it's concrete built, and it's kind of slopes down and then drops to where you can walk along, and then you've got 2 concrete supports at the side which are holding it up, which you can see left on this one. And there's a little plaque on one of them as well, and I believe it says Shirland Lane Bridge, but I can't see what date it is, if there is a date. Let me have a look. No, my eyes are not that good. But I mean, you can see the section in the middle where they've kind of dropped it in and it sits on it. I mean, it's amazing, you know, just 3 bits, bump, 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 and then on top. You know, they don't make bridges like that anymore, thank God. It's a concrete wonder. But where the supports are, anyway, where that little support coming down is, where the it says, you know, Shirland Lane Bridge is a little plaque. We used to climb up there, and we'd shuffle up to the top, and we'd sit on it, and we'd shuffle, we'd slide down, and then you'd stick your feet out to stop, you know. And it was always scary. I don't know why, because when you came down, you hit the other part. But we always think, you know, you could maybe slip and then shuffle down to the other bit and end up dropping in the canal. sort of thing. But we used to sit on there. When it used to be raining and we wanted to get out of the house, you know, you were told to get out and go out and play, and it chuck it down, we'd climb down here, and not so much that side, but the other side, which is out of the shot, we'd sit under there for shelter, and you could hear the rain in the canal on either side, and it used to be like a little den. You know, we'd sit, you know, on each support on that side, and we'd just chat about all sorts. So we'd play army or whatever, or you know. But I spent hours sat on there just pondering, watching the canal. Brilliant, fantastic. Right, next picture I'm going to load up, and this is the last picture, I'm afraid. So last picture coming up is this one, and we back to Shirland Lane Bridge. As you can see, this is the well, on top of the bridge, you know, that I've just been showing you underneath, and ahead in the distance you can see the pylon, you know, which is the same pylon that got struck by lightning, which I've mentioned in one of my earlier videos, and up to the right on the road was where the guy was working under his car before he shot off like a rocket when he got struck, and that takes us back to the beginning, to you know, kind of like middle in the Chippingham Street, I suppose. You know, towards the left of me going down is our road, to the right is Shirland Lane going up to oh god, what did they call that pub now? I've had a brain lock. I lost it. But the little pub where I used to sell the Michelin Man outside, and you've got the tram stop behind me, which still, you know, obviously takes the town either way, and I suppose behind me is Telewest or Virgin Media, I suppose now it's called, where on the corner there used to be Henry's shop. So yeah, we're right back to a circle, right back to the beginning, to where we started, and you know, I hope you've enjoyed it. Really, you know, it is supposed to when it rounds up. As you can see, you know, the bridge there. It's a weird bridge, this, because if you look at it, funny, I'm thinking about it now. Where the little kind of where they blocked it off, where they're doing roadworks, you got the bridge to your left, just below the pylon, which is the walkway bridge. But it looks as though there's pipe work, you know, going across. But there was no pipe work there, and it was all steel strutted like that. And then you had like that kind of Gordon thick mesh, you know, they used to get going across, which would stop you from climbing through and falling over. And I always thought that there was a really, really weird shaped bridge. You know, because it looks as though it's got two handles in the middle you can carry, and then it's got them like steel supports at the start of it and going through the middle, as if one day they'd put gates on it. Keep you in probably, but it's a really strange bridge, but I love it. The bit running down the side of it as well, which stops you from crossing over it, right near the road, that wasn't there back then. And obviously to the left where the bollards are, that's where the corner house was, where Bum Bum and Pieface used to live, as I put in the other one. So yeah, right. I mean, that's the end of that this video, which is number 32, part 2, and I shall post the last one on next, which will kind of be a bit of a sort of a rethink of everything, you know, that's, you know, that we've shown so far. So I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.